Good morning. Again, with the talking before I start. Need to practice that. I'm so busy getting everything ready, I don't get a chance to. I almost didn't hit the record button this morning. That would have been terrible. How are you this morning? Thursday morning, 9 in the morning. I'm a little late, 2 minutes. I was hoping for something to work out, but it didn't. So now we just wait for something to go on here. It's May the 12th, 2022. Getting close to the end of school, right? Kids are getting out pretty soon. Summer is coming. Weather changes. I don't know. I guess we should get right into it today. As much as I want to just talk about random stuff, I am trying to figure this out. So let's talk about this. I have a buyer, nice group of people, but they are ridiculous in what they're doing in the marketplace. And I keep trying to teach them stuff, and it's like, this is a waste of time. Let me try to explain a couple of things that are dumb, that are causing me issues. One, like, if I can't string together a bunch of showings at once, okay, I definitely don't make any money, and I definitely can't get anything else done. So if you call me every day and tell me that you want to see one house per day the entire week, like, I'm losing probably 2 hours of time every time you want me to see a house. In that case, if I can't string them together all at once, I'm screwed. Okay. That's number one. Number two, if it's like $100,000 house, and now I'm going and looking every day and wasting 2 hours a day for $100,000 house in this market, now I'm really not making any money. Now I'm losing money. You say, well, it's good. You should lose money, and then in the future you'll make money on something else, and so it all balances out. It doesn't. So now I'm just like beside myself, because it's like every day I get this. Let's see these houses that are crap. I already told you that they're terrible, and we're still going to go look at them because I guess I have nothing else better to do than to show you crappy houses. So that's problematic. But anyway, it's like trying to teach people stuff is difficult. They don't figure it out. So the other thing, this is what I've noticed in the marketplace. So I went to a house yesterday, and it was terrible. And I knew it was going to be terrible because I was on the same street the month before showing a house that was also terrible. And it's like, what is going on in the marketplace? Well, a couple things. One, I think people are finally putting out the worst of the worst. They realize that the market is close to the top, and they're like, this is garbage, but we'll throw it out there because some idiot will pay for it. And that's exactly what I'm getting stuck with right now. Is I'm getting stuck with my buyers, for some reason, think that right now the best thing you could possibly do is go find a house that's the cheapest house available. Because, right now that's a $200,000 house in St. Louis. And so now we're going to go buy a $200,000 house now that's probably worth about 80 when the market crashes. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. If you know that the market is going to go down, you need to go to something that's got some sort of quality. What are the qualities that you're looking for? You want to want a 3-bedroom home at minimum. You're going to want a 2-bath home minimum. Okay. You're probably going to want a garage. You're probably going to want a basement, and you're probably not going to want one that leaks. Okay. You want something that people actually want. I know it sounds weird, but like, there is some relevance between pricing and features and location. Okay. If you're in a hot part of town, you have a better chance of weathering a storm than if you go to a crappy part of town and buy the cheapest house there and figure out, like, oh, this is great. No, it's not. It's going to go down even further during the correction that's coming. I have no doubt. It's coming. I have no doubt it's coming soon. And that's just all there is to it. So what I try to tell my buyers who do need to buy, don't get me wrong. There are people that need to buy all the time, and there's people that need to sell all the time. For instance, if you have an estate, you got to sell. I mean, if you're not if you're not interested in having a family member, purchase the home or something like that, or having somebody else live in the house that, or rent it or something, you have to sell. That doesn't it. Whenever the person passes, whenever you decide that you need to go to a smaller place, you have to sell. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And then, on the buying side, look, if you're starting a family, if you're, any number of things, blending families, any sort of thing, you got to buy a house. It's time. I get it. So there are legitimate reasons to buy and sell houses in the marketplace. I think what most people get tripped up on is they think that they're somehow always going to be able to time the market correctly. Okay. And that's where I think you make an error. Can it happen? Yes, absolutely. Does it happen 100% of the time? No, maybe 5% of the time do people actually get things right in timing. I had somebody ask me a question yesterday. They said, well, why should I buy a house right now? I said, because if we waited for the right time for you to buy a house, we'll all be dead. It doesn't work like you think it does. It doesn't work like all of a sudden, there's going to be this perfect market and you're going to buy this perfect house at the perfect time and everyone's going to know how brilliant you are. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You might get lucky. You might get lucky, but for the most part, you just have to buy when you have to buy and you have to sell when you have to sell. It's strange. So what happens in a market like this? What should be happening? If you're a buyer and here's what you should be doing. If you're a buyer, you should be looking for a home that has all the features that anybody else would want. Okay. Because those houses are going to be the first ones that keep their value. These people that are buying houses that are 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, less than 1,000 square feet with no garage and a beat up basement, and they're paying $200,000 for it. That is the worst possible. And by the way, crappy part of town. That's an $80,000 house every day of the week that has now been inflated to $200,000. And down the road, that thing is going to go right back down. Maybe not to 80, but it's going to go down, whereas other houses are going to keep their value. So you should be going to quality. You should be going to quality. You may say, well, my budget doesn't permit me to go to quality. I agree with that at times. But there's also people that their budget does allow for them to go to quality and they're being cheap. And it looks stupid and it's a waste of time. That irritates me. So I'm a little fired up because I'm stuck in this situation where it's like, let's go look at the worst house there is possible because I'm being cheap and because I can't possibly get a house that I want because I'm looking at this garbage. Irritating. So, that's where I'm at. Go look for quality. Always. There's a reason why things are priced low. That's what I don't understand. When you see a picture that's been virtually staged, okay, and the house that's been on the market 200 days in St. Louis, when the average house sells in 3, that's a crappy house. That's going to be there's a reason why there's been on the market 191 days in the hottest market ever. It's because the house is crappy. It's because there's nothing you could do to that house to make it be something that somebody actually wants. Okay? It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Just figure it out. Another thing, if a house goes back on the market like immediately after it goes under contract, okay, and then they have to drop the price, just understand that house is garbage. Okay? It doesn't matter where it is. There's a reason why somebody thought in this market it'd be a great idea to get out of the contract. Okay? There's a reason. And now we're going to go find out what it is when we go see the house. So it's stupid. It's just stupid. And it's like, I'm trying to, help. I'm trying to help. Like, hey, look at this. Here's the situation. Okay? You need to figure this out. There's a reason why this house has been listed for 191 days in this market. It's crap. Why are you even texting me with this crap? It doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. I have to do a better job of explaining, like, when you're in a terrible market and you know it's bad for buyers, you have to go to quality. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, garage. And if you say, I can't afford that, and when you really can, that's where it gets irritating. Okay. I can understand. Look, if you can't afford a $200,000 house in this market, I get it. And so if we have to go look for a house that's, 150, well, then we're going to go find the best house we can for 150. Okay. That's reasonable. That makes sense. But if you can afford a better house and you're just trying to be cheap and it's wasting everyone's time, that's not good. That's not what I want to be doing with my time. So, not good. Got to figure this out. I've got 10 hours this week in this crap. Got me nowhere. There's no way I can make any money on this. None. So, anyway, that's what I'm dealing with. Did find some new buyers yesterday, and that was a referral, and I'm thankful for it because I don't know. I got stuck with a stupid concept here where I'm going to waste my time looking at houses. You know, it's one thing. Like, here's the thing. Let's get back to it. I've been doing this for I've been doing this 2005. Been doing this for 14 years or something. I mean, like I get it. I know what all the agents are doing in town. Okay. I know the market. All right. And you're going to come at me and say, oh, hey, you know, I want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. I want to do it this way. When you don't know anything. Like if I tell you, if I look at a picture, if you send me a listing and I say no, okay, there's a reason why I'm saying no. It's not because it's like, I just want you to not see a crappy house. It's like, no, this is a waste of everyone's time. Why are we doing this? That's the reason. Like, and if you still want to go see it, then you should apologize. Honestly, you should apologize to me for scheduling. When I say this house is terrible. Okay. Here's the reasons why. Okay. And you still want to go see it and you're not an investor. Okay. You're a retail buyer. Then then I should get an apology when I schedule this thing and you go there and you go, wow, this really is terrible. It's like, yes. And we could have saved 2 to 3 hours if we would have just not wasted our time with this. Stupid. And everyone thinks like, you make all this money being a real estate agent. Go do the math. Oh, by the way, real estate agents are overpaid. Go do the math on a $100,000 house and a month of time working on it and tell me about how much money I make. It's stupid. You say, well, go find higher quality buyers that are spending more money. It's like, yeah, that's great. Like no one's ever thought of that in real estate. No one's ever thought, hey, I should go in the luxury market. You know, no one's ever thought that. You know what? In fact, we all do the opposite. We're all like, you know what? Hey, there's money in the luxury side. But what I want to do is I want to spend my time, driving around to crappy parts of town and praying to God that I don't get shot. That's the business that I want. It's stupid. See, everyone knows, like, if you've been in business for like a week as a real estate agent, like, hey, I need to find clients that can buy expensive houses because running around doing this is not going to work. And yet, here we are. There's so much competition and there's only so many people, that have the money that can make your career worthwhile. It just doesn't work that way. So I think it's funny. Am I upset? I'm a little bit upset because it's like, the message isn't getting through. Like, hey, when I say this is a shitty house, I don't want to go see it. And I'm telling you it's a shitty house because here's the reasons. I mean, there's obvious things. Here's one. Here's an obvious thing. Okay. If someone is listing a house, okay, and they have signed a disclosure and they put nothing on the disclosure, okay, something's wrong with the house. You say, well, they could be sued for not disclosing anything. They could be, or they also don't care. It's in the hottest market ever. They don't care. They literally don't care. If you go to the house and you find something wrong, whatever. I mean, by the way, I don't know. It's just stupid. It just irritates me to no end. So today, am I going to go look at crappy houses? Probably. Tomorrow, I got some other houses that aren't crappy, but nah. So anyway, that's what I'm dealing with. There's things I like to do during the day. I don't mind answering questions. I don't mind showing houses. You have to understand, that's my job to show houses. Okay. That doesn't bother me. But the idea that I'm going to show a bunch of houses that you're not going to buy, and I'm basically just looking at crappy houses as a job, I don't particularly want to do that. That's not something that I think that's part of my job. It's not my job to go look at crappy houses that you're never going to buy. That's not a job. By definition, that's something else. That's volunteering. I'm just putting it out there. So anyway, it's like, I don't want to complain about my job being terrible. I mean, I think everybody has terrible parts of their job. Every once in a while. It'd be different if you just learned. Like, here's what I'm telling you. Here's my experience. Okay. We are not interested in this house. We're just wasting our time. Oh, all right, let's go see it. It's like, no. Hello. And then it's like, if a house comes to the market, like say on a Friday, and they're taking offers till Monday, okay, we don't have to go Friday the first minute it opens. They're not going to take the offer. And if they do, they're jerks because they said they're going to do it a different way and they changed their mind. That's it. That's it. We can go whenever we want to as long as we have an offer in on Monday. That's it. Just because a house comes on the market doesn't mean we have to go see it right away. Now, sometimes that's true. I mean, for instance, like this one particular house is back on the market. So that means we're already probably too late, but I don't care. Whatever. It's close to the house. It's not like I'm going out to St. Charles or Wright City to look at one house, which I would do if you're trying, if you're a good buyer, I mean, I get it. I don't know. It's just strange to me. So what do we got? Today's Thursday. I'm sorry. I've got some stuff going on in my office. I have random people running back and forth between my broadcast and me, and it's like, it's irritating. I get irritated by it. I'm sorry. It's like, I don't like it. You know, I do the same thing every day. Make your plans otherwise, and I still get stuck with stuff, and it ruins the show because it ruins the flow. It's hard enough for me, as you know, to get started on the show. You know that I'm not very strong in the beginning. So if somebody sees my live stream in the beginning, they click off it because it's like there's nothing there. Because it just takes me forever to get into the flow. And then when I do, we're fine. I don't know. So I'm looking at the chat. There's no one in the chat, so I'm not particularly worried about that. I've got things a little bit screwed up today. So one of the things that I need to do better on, I need to preview the show a little bit. 18 minutes in, and I'm not letting you know what's going on the show today. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about something on the Google search trends that I found interesting. Now, it's difficult. A lot of people think, oh, well, you just pick any article you want to on the Google Trends, and it's easy. It's not. And let me tell you, like today, like there's things that are appropriate for, adult discussion at some point in the future, and then there's other things that aren't really appropriate, and it's hard to figure out. I don't know if you've seen the Madonna NFT story. Okay. I thought about covering it, but then it's just not appropriate. It's not appropriate for, I would say, public discourse for me. I don't care. Your boundaries are great for you. Mine are fine for me. I don't care that it's out there and stuff. If you guys haven't figured out by now, Madonna's like 60 years old. Okay. I think if you guys haven't figured out by now that she uses, if she uses, any sort of hot button issue or sexuality to sell whatever it is she's selling, if you haven't figured it out by now, you're out. You're just out. There's no way. I mean, she's been doing it for like 30 years. Like, she uses every single tool in her tool belt of controversy to garner headlines. Okay. And she's going to continue to do it until she dies. Why? Because it's worked for her in the past. When has it never not worked for her? Like, if you haven't figured it out by now, that's what she does. If you haven't figured it out by now, that's what a lot of people do. You know? It's like, here's something controversial. Here's something I can latch onto. And here's how it's going to move my career. I mean, that's what she does. So then I'm thinking, do I want to cover this? Do I want to give her the benefit of me covering something that she's done for 30 years? No. I can see it's transparent. I can see right through it. You say, well, John, why don't you do that kind of thing to get the live stream going? You know, I've thought about it, but no, I mean, it's just not. I've noticed that with 10 followers, if I do something, drastic, that's still like the group of people that would know about it is very, very small. If Madonna does it and there's like 1 million people following her, then it does matter. Like, it does create. It's so strange. I think a lot of people get tripped up on that too. At least I would. Like, say they say, I want to be famous. Okay, well, now you need to go do something controversial. Okay, so they go do something controversial. The problem is no one cares because there's no one following them. There's nothing there. And so now you've just done something stupid for no reason, like, because no one's paying attention. It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. Anyway. So I didn't want to follow that story. I didn't see the point. You know? Then there's sports stories. Well, great. I mean, I kind of, then somebody died. And it was also in sports, so it's even better as far as, searches. But not remotely interesting to me. I don't know how to explain to anyone, I'm not interested in Madonna, exploiting some sort of hardwiring that says we have rules and stuff as a society, and she just doesn't want to use them. She doesn't want to be a part of them. Okay. And then as far as we have rules in society, we don't really have rules in society. I have rules that I follow and you have rules that you follow, but together, it's just chaos. That's the other thing. I mean, I don't know if you've ever noticed it. Do you realize how chaotic things really are? I mean, it's against the law to do X, Y, and Z, but I don't know that prevents people from doing X, Y, and Z. It's just against the law when they do it. I'm just blown away by it. It's like, in a way, like, let's say that you're trying to make a car more safe, a safer car. Well, great. But people can still have car accidents. It's like, just because there's a rule or just because you're trying to achieve something doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And so, I don't know. The Madonna thing, like, I'm sure that after she does this, then she'll go disappear in her cave for a while, and then she'll come back with something else stupid, because that's the way she does things. Now, you may be a fan of Madonna. You may say, oh, I love her, whatever it is she's doing these days. And that's fine. Like, please understand. I mean, if you want to go if we want to go, buy a house and you like Madonna, that's cool. Hey, it's just, I'm not going to cover Madonna being, racy at age 60, whatever, how old she is. It's just not, to me, not interesting. You know what is interesting to me, though? The Queen, the monarchy. Why? It's so silly. It's so silly. Why again? Because somehow in America we've decided we're going to adopt the monarchy. We try to make our presidents into kings. We try, and I've seen it. We fawn all over a duly elected president every time, and the president, the first lady, great. It all comes from this desire to have a monarchy. We want to have a monarchy, I guess, in the United States, because all we do is talk about Great Britain and their monarchy. So I'm totally fascinated by it. CNN does I don't know if they have somebody in the UK that writes the stories, but they do a wonderful job just telling me all that I need to know about the royals. And it is, to me, like, just bizarre. It's always, I try to stay away from like the family squabbles. I'm not interested in that. But I think that just in general, it's one of the most, like, why? So this particular article today, this topic garnered 100,000 searches in the United States yesterday, more than it normally does. 100,000 people really care that much. It's just hard to believe, isn't it? It's almost like it's almost like the data is manipulated. It's almost, because certain things get like ranked really, really high on the trends. If it's a movie, if it's a television show, very, very high. If it's sports, very, very high. The monarchy is very, very high. Death ranks very, very high. It's almost like some of it's manufactured. Now you say, well, how would someone's death manufacture, searches? Well, I don't know. But some of this stuff is just strange that ranks because it does it all the time. To me, it's strange. I mean, obviously I'm not on Google. I don't know everything going on. I just think this is interesting. So let's get to it. Sorry, it's taken me a little while to get into the show today. I'm just confused about so many things. Here we go. All right, ready? Prince Charles delivers Queen's speech for the first time. So Prince Charles is the son of the Queen. So that makes sense. So I guess she's busy. Let's find out. Britain's heir to the throne, Prince Charles and Prince William, took center stage at the opening of Parliament on Tuesday, replacing the 96-year-old Queen Elizabeth, who missed the grand set piece event for the first time in almost 6 decades. That's 60 years. With the Queen forced to withdraw on Monday due to a recurrence of mobility issues, 73-year-old Charles arrived at the Palace of Westminster to read out the government's legislative agenda. Now, I think I have mobility issues at like 44. I'm trying to get better. Like today, like I'm drinking water instead of soda. But it's going to make me crabby. I already know what's going to happen, and I'm not really excited. I'm not jazzed about it. But anyway, Charles, who had attended the opening of Parliament alongside his mother in recent years, started reading out each bill by saying, "Her Majesty's government will." So, like, he's just hanging out. Like, he's done this before. He's been there. He seems to understand what he's supposed to be doing. Prior to the event taking place, there was a mixture of confusion among those sitting in the chamber of the House of Lords as to whether or not Charles would sit beside a ceremonial throne or stand in front of it. When he arrived and sat on the throne, there was an audible surprise amongst those watching in person. So, like, I'm trying to understand this. So, basically, there was concern as to where Charles would sit. Okay. And then if they'd put a chair next to the throne, or if he would sit on the throne, in front of the throne, if he would sit at all. This was, as it says in the article, a mixture of confusion. This is, and it caused, when he did sit down, an audible surprise. We're worried about where the man sits. Or if he doesn't sit. The program for the day presented to those who had tickets to sit in the House of Lords had not been updated to reflect the fact that the Queen would not be attending herself, leaving some uncertainty as to exactly how the day's events would unfold. Well, I mean, if you've got a flyer and it's like, well, this person's going to do this, and then you've got like this other person that's taking their place, they're probably just going to go ahead and do the same thing the other person was going to do. Like it's in the flyer. I mean, the fact that you even get a flyer these days. And the other thing, it's like, look, at least you got a flyer, right? I mean, And as far as like this sentence, leaving some uncertainty as to exactly how the day's events would unfold, that's the story of my life. There's some uncertainty as to exactly how the day's events will unfold for me today. Some. The state opening of Parliament is an event of huge pomp and pageantry, which traditionally sees the Queen traveling to the Assembly in a state coach, escorted by mounted soldiers in ceremonial uniform, while the imperial state crown and other regalia travel ahead in a carriage of their own. The monarch dons the robe of state. That's pretty cool. I have a robe. It's like a terry cloth robe, and it's nice. It's nice. When it's cold and I take a shower, sometimes I'll put it on. Leading to a procession to the House of Lords upper chamber, where she sits on a throne and formally opens a new session of Parliament, reading a speech written by the government outlining its legislative plans. I would like to see, I would like to see us do that in the United States. I would like to see a reading of a speech written by the government outlining its legislative plans. The Queen has missed the occasion only twice during her 70-year reign, in 1959 and 1963, when she was pregnant with sons Andrew and Edward. The Queen, who has missed a number of public engagements since she was hospitalized for a night last October for an unspecified illness, had to issue a letters patent to authorize Charles and William to carry out her role at the constitutional event. To be honest, I don't think she did. She literally could have said, "Hey guys, can you go take care of this? I'm not feeling so great." Who's going to argue? There's no. It's just the event took place at a significant moment in British politics. Oh, go on. As the fallout from Partygate scandal continues to haunt Prime Minister Boris Johnson, leader of the I don't know anything about the Partygate scandal. Leader of the opposition, Keir Starmer, said on Monday that if he is fined by police who are investigating whether or not he broke COVID rules at an election campaigning event, he will resign. Johnson has already been issued with such a fine, a so-called fixed penalty notice, which he has accepted and paid. Starmer's intervention has therefore raised serious questions as to whether or not Johnson should resign as prime minister. This is just bizarre. The world is just crazy. Traditionally, the leaders of government and opposition use the Queen's speech as a time to put their differences aside and chat amicably as they walk from the House of Commons to the House of Lords. However, Starmer and Johnson had their eyes firmly fixed ahead and exchanged few, if any, words. Well, now that totally changed the article from the beginning. We were talking about the Queen not being at a party, at a speech. And then now it ends up being like two people are mad at each other and not talking. You tricked me. You tricked me. I don't know. I don't have anything to offer more than I hope that next year she can go back to delivering the Queen's speech. And I was thinking about that throne, and if you put a black cover on the throne, it means something totally different. So I was wondering if you maybe put a purple thing on the throne, then he could sit down and it would be okay. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just trying to offer solutions to this situation that they're not asking for my solutions. Let's move on. Let's move on. So we're going to Mesa, Arizona. Look at luxury homes. I don't know if I've seen these before. I'm just gonna pull them all up, and if I don't like one of them, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna pick another one. I might pick another one anyway. Let's go. First of all, is this real? It's built in 2004. $5 million. I don't know how long. How's it been on the market? 63 days. 7 beds, 10 baths, 14,322 square feet on a 1 acre lot. That's a big house on a small lot. And it's been listed since, let's see. 2021. So I've probably seen this. But let's take a look again, right? It's cool. Is there anything? Let's see. By the way, I don't know who listed it, and I'm not even really trying to find the details. No, and it does boast something, so I'm less interested. 23 pictures. Are we going to see? Like, let's ask some questions ahead of time. Are we going to see a picture of the inside of the house? That's question number one. That's the only question I have at this point. 23 pictures, not too many. Okay. I mean, there's other houses around, you know. I mean, it's not like it's on its own. Oh, inside of the house. I mean, it looks interesting. That's a big kitchen, if it's a kitchen. Yeah, there's the stove top. I love these houses. Like, you can get away with it in Arizona and things like that, where you can have outdoor space that makes sense. Look at that. I love these ceilings too. I like ceilings that aren't just flat. Look at that bathroom. It's as big as my house. Pretty cool. Yes. I mean, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. And they got a little fountain there. Okay. A little fountain in the staircase. That is awesome. Okay. That was 5 million. Okay. Now this is 3.9 million, 648 days on the market. You know what? We're not going to look at it. I'm just not interested. We're going to change it with this. Plus the pictures are pretty terrible. Maybe let's see if they get better. No, they don't. Oh, great. What is this? No. All right, let's look at this one. 2.5 million, been on the market 20 days. Hey, we haven't seen this one. Built in 2004 with a 4-car garage, 5 beds, 4.5 baths, 6,508 square feet on about an acre lot. Let's look at the property details. Are we getting it? No, nice. Nice. Let's look at the property history. Hey, look at that. Good. This stunning custom estate is the ultimate entertainer's dream. The backyard paradise features mountain views, heated pool with slide and water features, spa, Ramada with built-in barbecue. I don't know what a Ramada is other than a hotel chain. So it's fascinating to me. I'll have to look that up. And decorative columns with fire feature. Fire. The interior is a work of art. Beautiful gourmet kitchen with granite countertops, large island with breakfast bar, and a walk-in pantry. The separate formal dining room features a beautiful and impressive brick dome ceiling. The downstairs also has 2 full bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and a laundry room. The master bedroom features a balcony, ensuite bathroom, fireplace, walk-in closet, and laundry room. Enjoy the best views of the valley, superstition, mountain sunsets, and city lights from one of the numerous balconies and expansive rooftop deck. A true gem. Okay. 98 pictures. Now, if you think I'm looking at 98 pictures, you're out of your gourd. Not going to happen. I think my interest in this was piqued by a laundry room inside the bedroom. Like, that is such a brilliant idea. Think about that. Why is it that we have our bedrooms and then we have our laundry room somewhere else? Like in St. Louis, I don't know, since about the 80s, like when you walk in the house on the right-hand side or the left-hand side from the garage entrance is going to be a laundry room. So like the first thing, I mean, that's even before you get to the kitchen. Now, why is that? Well, there's, available water right there in the sewer. But that's been the way it is. I've never even thought about putting one. Now, I've seen it a couple times, like in the linen closet, what would have been a linen closet. There's been laundry. But never in the actual master bedroom. I've never seen it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist in St. Louis. I don't speak for all of St. Louis real estate in any way. I think that's cool. I don't know if we're going to see it. I don't know. The pictures are taking forever to load. And I mean, thank you. By the way, this doesn't look so great. If I have to look at other people, that's not a really great view. My opinion. Oh, there's your fire fountains, fire columns, fire features. There's your Supra. And there's a little Ring doorbell. Oh, I like that. There's the Supra on the gate. And then we don't see those very often in listings. I would have taken that off. I would have had, I mean, that's to me terrible. But whatever. Then you go in here and look at that. That is an entrance. Now, is this the laundry in the bedroom? I don't know. I don't think it is. I think there's more than one laundry room, but I can't prove it. I mean, there's unless there's like a definitive picture, I'm not going to get to see the laundry in the bedroom. Oh, isn't that interesting? Like, where are the legs for those chairs? I mean, they hang off the thing. I know that. I'd be a little scared at this point to do that. There's some of that brick ceiling. I kind of like the interior stone. I think that's pretty cool usage of that. That's a nice view. That's kind of weird. I don't really want to peer into my own bedroom when I'm not in it. I mean, there's a space for a laundry room. There's your dryer and there's your water, but there's no. I mean, that is the room. I think there is the proof of the laundry room in the bedroom, although I can't really tell. I didn't really get a good picture of the bedroom. Here's the bathroom. It's gorgeous. Interesting home. I'm not looking at any more pictures. Done. All right, and then here's this one's been on the market 128 days. I don't know. 3-car garage. Let's look at the property history. Listed since 2022. January. 2.495 million. Well, let's just say, does this look anything like the other house? Is this something that I'd be interested in? 5 beds, 4.5 baths, 6,126 square feet on about an acre lot. There's a pool. I mean, the pool's nice. It's got that outdoor space that we didn't really see in the other house, but I didn't look at 40 other pictures. So there's that. It's interesting, just based on the pictures, I've looked at the same pictures. I've seen this picture and this picture and this picture like over and over. You know, based on this, I like the other house better. And it's based on the listing pictures. Look, there's the pool again. I get it. It's a pool. Oh, look, there's the same picture. I don't understand this. Why are we just throwing the same picture in? Love the outdoor space. Covered outdoor space is great. It's very, I mean, look, I get it. You have a pool. I'd rather see stuff like that. But now if we're just going to keep showing that, I'm not interested in it, you know? And now we're outside. Have you even seen the, I mean, look, there's the same picture again. Oh, now we're in this room. I'm not saying that there's a school that we go to as real estate agents to like present a listing, like present listing photos. there's no school that we go to, but I mean, after a while, you kind of know, I would think, how to do it. Now, I have never listed a $2.5 million home. Okay. So maybe they're like, hey, we'll just put a bunch of pictures together and we'll throw it up there. But like when I list a house for like 200,000, I mean, there's like a certain way we do it. And it seems to work. I mean, I sell houses. I mean, okay. Like, just be honest. Which houses did we see? We didn't see that one because I didn't like it. This house is 2.5 million. This house is 2.4 million. I don't know. It's not even the same zip code. So maybe this is closer to town. Maybe this one's further away. Why in the world, if you had $2.5 million and you wanted to only spend $2.5 million, why wouldn't you buy this house over this house? Just based on the photos themselves. I'm just asking. Let's go to Deerwood Realty. Let's look at some mortgage rates. Everyone likes mortgage rates, right? We like to have a little report. Let's go look down at the bottom. Thirty-year fixed, 5.41%. An increase over yesterday's 5.4%. 1 basis point, not going to kill anybody. Okay. But you can just see this ramping up of, I mean, that's not good. Not good. All right. Here we go. Let's look at some articles. Rental market tracker. This is from Redfin. You know, like, I'll talk about it for a second. I got an email from some lady yesterday. Where are you at? Let's go down to this. I'm gonna dump this to the screen, to the base screen, okay? And then I'm gonna forget when I go to the rental market report. But let's talk about this because I wanna get it out there. Okay. So I did a video on Redfin and fair housing violation. They settled. Okay. I used complete news articles for that podcast, and I have no ill will towards Redfin or anybody else, because it doesn't do me any good. Okay. I got an email yesterday from a woman that wanted to put she says, here's a comments that I wanted to make about Redfin. Okay. Well, first of all, the venue for that is on the podcast page or the YouTube page or wherever you see my podcast. Put your comments there, put it out in public, put your name on it, and then, you know, assail the organization as much as you'd like. The thing is about this particular email, it was about the algorithm and how it values houses. As far as if you log in and create an account, the argument that I was reading was that it lowers your home value, that Redfin does this on purpose. I don't know, and I don't care, because Redfin is doing what a lot of companies do, and that's they'll give you a number. It's just not based on anything, and they'll change it. And you say, well, you're harming the value of my house because someone looks at that and then says that's the value. Well, if that's what somebody thinks, they're an idiot. Like, if you think that someone should use that estimate for your house, you're an idiot. Here's a couple things. First of all, Zillow had their estimate, okay? And they're like, you know, we'll use this estimate to go buy houses. Well, they ended up getting out of the iBuying market altogether because of their estimates. All right. So I don't think that that's a good plan. And we've had this now for years. There's no, if someone can learn the area, if someone knows the area, that's the best possible way to get the value for a house. So the premise that Redfin is intentionally making prices low because you logged in and created an account, it's not something like 100% of the market isn't looking at the Redfin valuation. And most agents are just laughing at anyone that is looking at it, because why would you do that? So that's one. Issue number two, I am not a freedom fighter. I own a small brokerage in South County, St. Louis, Missouri. I'm not taking on fights with corporations that have millions of dollars behind them. Okay. Because you feel like you were burned on something and you can't even put your name on it and you can't even put it out there on your own. Like, that's not my job. Like, I'm not a journalist. Okay. I don't understand why. Now you say, well, you could be the voice of those who haven't found one. No, I don't think that's true. I mean, I put my stuff out there just like you can. If you don't like Redfin, if you think Redfin did something wrong, make a video put it on YouTube and say Redfin did this, and maybe it'll be very popular. Maybe it'll be far more followers and far more subscribers and far more views than I'll ever have. I mean, that's where I'm at. I just don't understand, like, why you would send an email to me complaining about an organization that I have nothing to do with. You know, like, a couple of things. One, am I surprised that a big organization does shady things? No, I'm not. Number two, is this position that you're taking important to you? I have no doubt. Okay. 3, is anything that I'm going to do going to solve your hatred for this organization? No, you've taken this and you've internalized this, and now now you're after them, and you will forever be. Anybody that ever brings up their name, you will let them know what you think. But as far as me, like, if it was an interesting story, okay, it's not even an interesting story to me. I mean, I get it. Redfin screwed you out of home valuation, you feel like, because you logged into their platform. But if you hadn't logged into your platform, do you think that they would not change your number daily or weekly? It's very confusing to me. Redfin is quote unquote a tech company that happens to be a brokerage. Okay. Do you think they're going to work with your best interest in mind? No, their job is literally to get eyeballs on their pages so that they can get more clients. So, I mean, why would you, and then the compare, well, Redfin's numbers were all over the place, but Zillow's numbers were stable. Okay. All right. I don't trust Zillow's numbers either. Whose numbers do I trust? Honestly, until a house is sold and I see the sold price and I see that's when I trust a number. I mean, even my own numbers, if I go to the marketplace and I say, I think this house is worth 200,000, I'm stuck on 200,000 a day. Okay. And it sells for 210,000. Was I wrong? What is the margin of error that we're going to accept in this? If I say the house is going to sell for 200,000 and it sells for 190,000, am I wrong? Like, what, and then, so what if it's sold? Well, now the person doesn't have $10,000 extra in their back pocket. Well, I mean, what do you want me to do about that? I'm just very confused. Like, if you can't even put your name behind a comment on a video on YouTube, okay, and spew accusations towards Redfin, then I can't be bothered with taking up your cause. One in which, by the way, I don't even agree with. Even if it were true, even if you did log in and did change your price, okay, what difference does it make? Do you think that someone's now going to just look at the Redfin price and say that's what your house is worth? It doesn't work that way. Like, you put your house on the market, you put a price on it, and someone will come buy it, or they won't. Okay. And then you will know at that very moment what the house is worth. Now, there are legitimate concerns about valuations from appraisers. Okay. That's reasonable. Why is that reasonable? If you take a whole community and you artificially deflate the value of their homes, okay, due to some sort of gender, race, any sort of characteristic, that hurts the community. You say, well, why do we care about the community? Well, because we kind of live in communities. I hate to live in a community. I don't want to be a part of a community, but we all are part of communities. So that's wrong. I don't like that. I don't like that. You believing that a valuation is lower than it should be on an automated website, how does that hurt everyone? Are they artificially, lowering the price? And then what is the motivation? I'll tell you, I don't know. To me, it's all a game. If you call a Redfin agent and you tell them to come over, do you think they're using that number, the automated number? That should be your first clue that things are off. Okay. Or when Zillow was doing iBuying, you say, I want exactly what you're putting on I want exactly what you've put as yours estimate. Do you think that they're going to do that? That's how much value is contained in that estimate. This is just me. So anyway, I know I'm going to get more. Like, if you want to send me an article that's interesting, that's what I would say sourced well. Okay. Perhaps there's more than one article about this subject. Perhaps the journalist that's there is legitimate as far as they work for a legitimate quote unquote news organization. Now, we use the cloak of legitimacy because we don't want to get sued out of our gourd. I'm just saying. So if you want to send me that, if you say, hey, I thought this was interesting, can you give me your take on it? Yes, I can give you my take on it. I've given you my take on this email. I just, your concern is not warranted in the way I do business because I don't trust those numbers at all, ever. And like the other thing is, if they're going to intentionally deflate the value of your home, like you have to show damages. Now, I'm not an attorney, but I'm just saying you have to show it. You haven't sold your home, so how can you be like hurt? It's just weird to me. The whole thing is weird. So no, that is not something that I'm going to cover or I'm going to do anything with. I'm probably going to delete the email because I want nothing to do with it. Now, if you want to put that same, and by the way, to me, there was something weird about the email because it wasn't just your complaints. You were going around and you happen to have other quotes from like 14 different people. What is that about? Like, it seems like you're on a mission and that I'm supposed to pick this up. I'm supposed to pick up this torch and then go get slaughtered. I don't particularly want to do that. That doesn't seem like a good idea. So to you out there, you know who you are. I can only do what I can do, and I'm not getting involved in your problem. How's that? Is that fair? If you want to send me an article that says, hey, tell me about this, what do you think? I'll do it. I'll tell you what I think about something. But I'm not taking up a cause against a multi-million-dollar corporation that I, they could crush me in a minute. So no interest in that. All right. Now that I've explained that, let's go to the Redfin site because they do wonderful research. No question. Rental market tracker, asking rents climbed 17% to a record high in March. Okay. Well, that's not good. And I'll tell you, the buyer that called me yesterday she said, my husband says we should rent for a while, short-term rental. And I'm like, have you seen the rents. It's really bad. Rising monthly mortgage rate payments up 34% from a year ago due largely to rising interest rates are pricing more people out of the home buying market, which could lead to even more increases in rents. Meaning monthly asking rent in the U.S. increased. Did I do it? Oh, I did it. I transitioned. I'm so proud of myself. Increased 17% year over year to a record high of $1,940 in March, the largest annual jump since at least February 2020. Redfin's rental data goes back through February 2019. Meanwhile, the national median monthly mortgage payment for homebuyers rose twice as fast. It climbed 34% year over year to $1,910, the biggest increase in Redfin's records. The increase in monthly mortgage payments is largely because mortgage rates climbed from under 3 to 5% in the past 3 months, pushing many potential buyers out of the for sale market and increasing demand and prices for rentals. Even though homebuyer monthly payments are rising rapidly, asking rents were still slightly higher as of March, but the gap is closing quickly and is the smallest on record in Redfin's rental data. Now, do I even trust Redfin's rental data? No, I don't trust anybody's anything. They published an article. I don't know if it's true or not. That's where I'm at. Do I have reason to believe it's true? Yes. Based on me going out and looking at my own stuff, I believe that it's probably true. Anyway, although the home purchase market is showing early signs of a cool down and price growth may slow in the coming months, Redfin economists do not currently expect sale prices or mortgage rates to drop. Many potential first-time homebuyers are quickly being priced out of the market by record high home prices and fast increasing mortgage rates. They're then faced with two options: rent or move somewhere with a lower cost of living. Those who chose to rent may save money in the expensive housing markets in the near term, but long term they may have to deal with continued rent increases year after year. Those who move and buy somewhere more affordable now will be paying considerably more than if they bought last year, but will be able to build equity in the long run and ensure relatively stable monthly housing costs going forward. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Your monthly housing cost, if you buy a home, should be relatively stable. I mean, if you've got a 30-year fixed rate, the problem is I think a lot of people are moving to a different package. I think they're moving to the I think they're starting to move to the adjustable rate just to get into a house, which is really bad. Like, I mean, that's really one of the things that caused problems the last time. But whatever. This is just, it gives you the markets where it's going up. I don't really have a huge desire to get involved with that. Just because. I mean, do I do a worldwide show? Yes. But, you know, I think each market kind of dictates its own rents. And so I'm just going to stay there. Let's move on to another article. This was out of Fortune. Let's pause that. I thought this was interesting. Maybe you will too. By the way, I'm running long today and we're just going to deal with it. The housing market, it says a bit of 2008 deja vu. The housing market hits a level not seen since the last bubble. Okay, well, what does this mean? Good Lord. It means I'm going to get, all right. You'd be hard pressed to find housing economists proclaiming that the ongoing housing boom is nearing 2008 type bust. That's true. That's true. In fact, many say the opposite, based on the belief that the demographic wave of millennial first-time homebuyers, elevated wage growth, and limited supply will all continue pushing the market upwards. Every major real estate firm with a publicly available forecast, including CoreLogic and Fannie Mae, predicts that home prices will go even higher over the coming year. That said, the red hot U.S. housing market is beginning to hit levels not seen since our last housing bubble. Black Knight, who just got purchased by the Intercontinental Exchange, or agreed to be purchased by for $2 billion, I think, says Black Knight, a mortgage technology and data provider, showed Fortune an analysis on Friday that finds the typical American household would now have to spend 31% of their monthly income to make a mortgage payment on the average priced U.S. home. That's up from 29% just 1 week earlier and up from 24% in December. Black Knight's mortgage payment to income ratio, which averaged 19.9% during the 2010s decade, hasn't topped 31% since September of 2007. What's going on? The economic shock caused by soaring mortgage rates over the past few weeks has dramatically increased mortgage payments for new home buyers. Back in December, the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate stood at 3.11%. A borrower taking on a $500,000 mortgage at that rate would owe $22,138 a month. Now that average rate is 5%. That loan is issued today. It would cost $2,684 a month. Over the course of a 30-year loan, that's an additional $196,700. Yes. We did this yesterday on my own calculator. It was like $400 extra a month. This is about $500, but they're using a more expensive home. I think I used a $400,000 home. In March, a team of researchers at the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas got the attention of the real estate industry after publishing a paper titled Real-Time Market Monitoring Finds Signs of Brewing U.S. Housing Bubble. They found that recent U.S. home price growth, which is up 19.2% over the past 12 months, is once again becoming unhinged from economic fundamentals. I think that's true. It is unhinged from economic fundamentals. And I think that investors, in a large Wall Street investors, are gobbling up homes, creating a distortion in the market. And I think they've been doing it for a while now. But this is just me. However, the Dallas Fed researchers don't see this as a 2008 repeat. Sure, many home buyers are getting stretched financially in a way that resembles buyers during the last bubble, but that's just new home buyers. If you look broadly to homeowners, they're doing quite well. Yes, that's true. Yes, that's true. However, if those home values go down and they were hoping to use that equity to continue to keep going in their mortgage, as of the fourth quarter of 2021, only 3.8% of U.S. disposable personal income was going towards mortgage debt payments. At the height of the 2000s housing bubble, that figure was nearly double at 7.2%. This time around, households' balance sheets look healthier and more homeowners have paid off their mortgage altogether. In addition, the shady lending practices of the aughts were regulated out of the market by the 2010 Dodd-Frank Act. Simply put, if a storm does come, homeowners in theory should be better positioned to ride it out. Based on present evidence, there is no expectation that fallout from a housing correction would be comparable to the 2007 to 2009 global financial crisis in terms of magnitude or macroeconomic gravity. Among other things, household balance sheets appear to be in better shape, and excessive borrowing doesn't appear to be fueling the housing market boom. Okay. It says it's possible that the affordability crunch created by soaring mortgage rates could be a good thing. That's according to Logan Mohatswamy, lead analyst at Housing Wire. Spiking mortgage rates, he said, could take some steam out of the market and give inventory a chance to rise a bit. If that happens, it could slow down the rate of home price appreciation and reduce the likelihood of a red-hot housing market culminating in an overheated market or, even worse, a housing bust. I don't know. If you've got people spending 31% of their income on a mortgage, it's not a good thing. Higher mortgage rates are the best thing for the higher mortgage rates are the best thing for housing because we are in a savagely unhealthy housing market and we need to get off these extreme low levels of inventory. It isn't too much or bad credit chasing homes this time around. It's too many people chasing too few homes. We desperately need a breather. According to Redfin, we just looked at an article from them. Spiking mortgage rates are already softening the housing market a bit. The brokerage platform is seeing slightly more home listings with price cuts and fewer bookings for home showings. However, we'll need to wait a few weeks or months before we can be sure the housing market actually is softening. Are we happy that the housing market is going to be softening? I'm not quite sure we are. I'm not quite sure we are. I'm a little confused. I don't know what to make of it. I think things are coming to an end. And this is what I think. Things in the housing market. I think that people buyers are going to say at some point, we're done. We're not interested. And then the prices should either stay the same or go down. I mean, I've had 2 buyers throw in the towel already and say, this is stupid. I'm not playing. I suspect more will follow suit. Okay. Let me do this way. Go here, go here. Okay. What did we learn today? Well, we learned that John is not going to be the voice of someone who has opinions on an organization that's $1 billion company. I'm not going to be your voice. You have to be your own. That's number 1. Number 2, might be a mortgage situation, might be a housing crisis, but we're saying in this article that we read that it's not going to be as bad as it said. Rental income or rental rates are stupid high. That's what Redfin says. And the Queen has mobility issues and couldn't deliver her speech. Her son took her place, and I believe her grandson, but he didn't get any play in the article. He sat on the throne, which caused an audible gasp. And I don't know where the other fellow sat. Maybe he didn't sit at all. And then the article transitioned into some sort of political scandal fallout for COVID. It's not what I was there for. So, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to show a house. That's what we're going to do, because that's what we do. Then we are going to, I don't know, we got a bunch of other things we need to do. Tonight, I got to do something. I can't be away. So, anyway, I got to do something with the family today. Oh, I know it's the end, and I'm sorry that it took this long to get to the end, but tomorrow is looking dicey as far as a live stream. I want to do a live stream. Okay, I do. But I got something. I have to be somewhere at 8, and I know I'm not going to get done until at least 10. And then when I get home, I only got maybe an hour before I have to be somewhere else and to throw in a live stream. I don't want to diminish the quality of the live stream. I know it sounds weird, but I do. I mean, because maybe you don't think the quality is that great as it is, but I think that the number one thing for the live stream to work has to be that I'm present in mind. Even though there's times in the live stream where I'm not, where you can definitely see that I'm reading an email or getting a text. For the most part, if I'm worrying about something like the whole time, it's not going to go well because I get a little too intense. So tomorrow, yes, there will be a live stream. I'm not even going to put it in the system ahead of time. I'm definitely not going to be here at 9. It will be spontaneous. I might put something on the Deerwood Realty Twitter page. Follow me there if you'd like updates. And then that's what I'll do. So that being said, thank you for watching today. Thank you for hanging out. Hopefully we can learn something from today and move on down the road.